Every week, I hear the same thing from creators. I studied the top channels and I copied what they're doing, and my thumbnails still aren't performing. And they're right. They studied their niche, they followed the formats, and they ticked every conventional box. The problem is that when everyone follows the same damn playbook, then the playbook stops working. So in this video, I want to break down 3 patterns I'm seeing in early 2026 that are actually driving views right now. Now, before I reveal the first pattern, think about what's happening every single time someone scrolls through their YouTube homepage. They're not really hunting for anything in particular, or else they would have used the search bar. Their brain is running on autopilot, glancing at the thumbnail after thumbnail. It's like their brain is saying, what's the tastiest snack I could eat right now that'll give me a dopamine kick after? And the moment something makes them pause, that's the video they click on. So if your thumbnail looks like it could have been made by another creator in your niche, the viewer's brain doesn't even register it as something worth stopping for. It just blends in with everything, so they scroll past. This brings us to the first pattern, uniqueness. Now, uniqueness is not a design problem, it's a differentiation problem. Anything unique, literally anything that is even remotely different while still being relevant to your topic, will guarantee you more views. Take my word for it. Which is great, because you don't need to spend hours trying to be better or just more polished, because different is what makes the brain register, because different is what forces that pause. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Look at this thumbnail for a video called How Israel Will Collapse by a channel called Uncivilized. This is not what a typical political commentary thumbnail looks like. Most creators in this space would put a serious looking face, a flag, and some dramatic text overlay. But that's the expected standard stuff. But this one, the whole concept is built around a visual metaphor, a house of cards made from Israeli flags about to collapse, with a woman flicking it like it's nothing. The metaphor is immediately readable, and it's completely unlike anything else. No wonder, dude, it got 1.2 million views within a month. Here's another one. Why Korean men are trapped in a beauty arms race. A video I packaged. This one is interesting because it breaks down the rules and follows them at the same damn time. It uses faces, which is conventional, but the framing is completely unexpected. The faces are framed inside what looks like a Korean skincare product in a packaging tile. Rows of them. The visual idea itself tells the story before the viewer reads a literal word. This video hit 300k views in a month, and again, it's not because the design was the flashiest, but because it was really just different. The Korean peninsula is just a massive social experiment. Dude, look at this composition. It's a controlled explosion of contrasting imagery. North Korean military figures next to K-pop girls, Stalin, Kim Jong-un, the Samsung logo. There's so much going on, but the effect is that it forces you to look closer and compel you to find out more. Compare that to Makima's Fatal Flaw by Catharsis. This is anime content, which is an incredibly crowded niche. Everyone is doing the same dark, cinematic, photorealistic style thumbnails. This one is just a character on a red background with one giant word. The content visually loud and so different from everything around it that it completely jumps out of the feed. What do all of these have in common? None of them look like obvious expected versions of their thumbnails. They each made a deliberate choice to be the most different thing in their niche. Now, the second pattern I've been seeing takes this even further, and it's coming from a completely unexpected direction. But first, let me ask you this. When was the last time you felt genuinely connected to a YouTube video before you even clicked on it? I'm talking about a thumbnail that made you feel something. Not just general curiosity, but something almost emotional, something real. The second pattern is about creating that feeling. Pattern 2 is humanistic, or as I like to call it, raw. For years, the default assumption in thumbnail design has been more polished equals more clicks. And for a long time, it was quite frankly true. But something has shifted, and I think it has to do with how saturated YouTube has become with overproduced content. Viewers have been exposed to so many highly polished thumbnails. There is so much manufactured drama and exaggerated expressions that their brains have started tuning it out. They've seen it all before. So when the viewers see something raw, something unpolished, something that makes them feel more real, more human, that's the thing that stops the scroll. Thumbnails with humanistic aspects are thriving right now. And in a lot of cases, a bad design in the traditional sense is actually outperforming a good one. Because what it lacks in production value, it makes up for it in authenticity. And authenticity is what builds trust, and trust is what drives clicks. This thumbnail, why Chinese Gen Z are refusing to work, is a really good example. It works because the scenario feels true to the subject matter. You look at this kid getting pointed at from every direction, and you feel the social pressure before you even read the title. That emotional reaction is the click. Let's look at another one. The Pain of Chasing Your Dreams by Aspivian is stupidly simple. It's just a real photograph of a real person who's widely known for chasing their dreams at the cost of everything else. No Photoshop, no dramatic special effects, the font looks handwritten, the whole thing feels like something a person made, not a design team. And that rawness is the point, because the video is about real human struggle, and the thumbnail reflects that. It feels lived in, honest, and the result, 100K views with a channel that has 2,000 subscribers. That is serious performance. Look at this one. This is literally a frame taken directly from the video. No design work at all, just a raw, intimate moment between two people. There's not even any text on the thumbnail, and yet it got 45,000 views in just 6 days on a channel with like 2,000 subscribers. That's a massive outlier performance, and I think it's because it communicates something no polished thumbnail can. This is real. It makes you want to find out what actually happened. Now, the third pattern gives you a whole different philosophy. But once you understand this, the other two patterns will make even more sense. And that is breaking the pattern. The most reliable pattern for getting views on YouTube right now is refusing to actually follow any. When I look at what's working across niches right now, and I mean really working, not just performing okay, there's one thing almost all of the best performing thumbnails have in common. They look nothing like what anyone else in their niche is doing. Think about what happens when a thumbnail style starts working. One creator does it, it performs well, other creators copy it, then more people copy it, and within weeks the entire niche is running variations of the same format. And the moment that happens, the format dies, because the viewer's brain has already processed it 100 times. It's no longer a pattern interrupt because now it's just the pattern. This is the trap, and it's like the trap that catches even experienced creators, because copying what works feels like the safe, logical move. But safety on YouTube is the most dangerous thing you can do right now. That's why my entire approach to thumbnail ideation is built on the principle: do everything against the grain. If the average creator in a niche is pushing a thumbnail style that's working, my instinct is to go in the opposite direction. Not because I'm being contrarian for the sake of it, but because I know that once something is conventional, it has already lost its ability to stop this scroll. And this is actually the same principle that the greatest artists and designers have always worked from. They didn't ignore convention, they mastered it first, understood exactly why the rules existed, and then broke them strategically. That's the difference between breaking rules intelligently and just making something random up. Take one of my examples. We made a thumbnail that showed a picture of a dog and then said, hey, this is not really a dog. Every conventional thumbnail for that type of content would show a before and after format. Something predictable, something familiar, and then something safe. Instead, I created cognitive dissonance. Your brain sees a dog, the text tells you it's not a dog. The gap between what you see and what you read is what forces the click, because your brain cannot leave that loop open. The result? 1.3 million views, 200x of an outlier performance. Here's another example. Notice how in every case the thumbnail is doing something you simply don't see anyone else doing in the space. That's not a coincidence. That is the pattern. The pattern is having no pattern. Now, of course, I'm not saying to make something weird for the sake of just being weird. It means understanding your niche so deeply that you know exactly where the conventions are and then making a deliberate, strategic choice to go somewhere else. But here's the thing. Even a great thumbnail can fail if the title is weak or it's not really working with the thumbnail to stop the scroll and get the click. So here's my recommendation. Watch this video next.